Hello everyone, my name is Christopher Hudson from Polygongolf. Today, this video is going to be about the structure of the arms and why the arms need to move in two different ways. You're either going to have one choice or you're going to have what I believe to be a more efficient understanding of how the club should really move. Most people were taught to do these pressure shifts to where I guess pretty much if you think about it, they're like bump this way, or, go here, bump to the right and come up to the top. Those are wrong, in my opinion. They're absolutely wrong. And there's a reason for it. We're going to address that in another video. But let's take this same premise of this, and go to the top. So what happens here with this first arm structure, Pat, that people do, they go this way. So they've got all this weight on their right. The club's been taken away. Then they lift this club up. And normally what happens to a lot of people, and they don't even realize it, when they lift this up here, they start raising up out of their posture. They don't even realize they're doing it because there's actually weight on the end of a stick that when I go up like this, you might be saying to yourself, wow, Chris, that looks like a really good arm structure and all these different things. Then all of a sudden they bump back to the left. Then they start coming into impact. They start early extending because they've been told push up with these vertical forces. They get to impact and they look like this. And they're like, I'm turning as much as I can. Well, that's true. In that setup with bump to the right, take the club away, left arm parallel to the ground, up over the back shoulder, then recenter or come back to the left, start coming down this way and get into this impact position. You can't see anything. Now, the reason for that from this perspective, I'm going to bump to the right. I'm going to pick that up. Now I'm going to recenter, come back down that same path, and I get the right here, and I can't turn anymore because the hip is locked out. The only direction I can go from here is that way. I will never, ever, from this position, be able to turn my body and go in that direction. It's always going to set me off at about a 45-degree angle this way instead of being able to get my hips to rotate. You can do that. You can take, because again, it's about arm structure. We're going to get into the whys of why the body's got to move in a certain way. So let's get to the second one. You have the option of taking the book, instead of taking the book here and then up over your right shoulder like a lot of people think. What I want you to do is take the book, take the top of it, face it up. It's going to be at an angle when we get in our posture. Then what I want you to do is make those same exact moves. So we're going to little bump to the right and we're going to start turning. But once we get to the takeaway here, instead of lifting, I want you to turn the book like that. And when you do it, you're going to see how my forearm is facing up. And you're going to see how the top of the book is facing me. The bottom of the book is out here. Then as you start going up, I want you to let this book travel up where it's facing me, around me facing me, and at the top, you can see how it's still facing me. Now this arm structure and the way that it should be, watch what happens. Now I'm just going to keep the top of the book facing me as I come down in the downswing and watch what happens. Because again, you're going to get to this release point, but I'm going to keep the back of the book facing me for as long as I can. And look what's happened to my hip turn. I'm turning now instead of arms up here. I'm allowing this to come around my body, which is letting my hips open. Okay? So what you've got to understand, there are two paths, one that'll go up and one that will go around your body. Now think about this in three-dimensional space. This is the area that I occupy right now. If I have to take something and move it to get the correct leverage and all these different things, I would get here, I'd put this on the side of my body here, like a shortstop going in the hole, and then all of a sudden, I'm gonna come around and throw this thing and right to the second baseman. Hopefully it's a double play, whatever, but there's tremendous power in that. So what does that action look like? I'm here, I'm at short, I go into the hole, I pick it up. Now I've got all this weight transfer to where I can just pressure, where I can just take that ball and throw it. That's really the reality of it. If you can take this book and start matching up to either this vertical component or this vertical and around me component, what most people don't understand is, this is very fascinating, okay? When you take the book and you go this way and up, and this is where I'm gonna end up at. Now, if I was to do a bicep curl, okay, so I've taken the book and I've gone up. If I do a bicep curl now, this is the only way I can do it. This way. So watch what happens as I not only go there, bicep curl here, now I'm gonna go up. Bicep curl comes back into me like this, okay? Now why am I talking about the bicep curl? If you stand up with me and you go like this, these are the power angles of the human body. This is how hundreds of years ago, or maybe, 100 in the 1800s, whatever, 1900s, they're in farming or whatever. In order for us to pick something up, we move our arm into this power angle and we pick it up. That's the way that we are designed. So remember, this way, what I just showed you and proved to you, if I pick it up here, this is the only angle I can get to. So if I move this out, it's not a power angle. It's not. This is a power angle because I can do a bicep curl. So now, when we do and turn the book this way, what you're gonna notice is I'm putting my body in a power position that it understands, okay? So now all of a sudden, we're gonna take the book, we're gonna go around, there's the first one, the book's still facing us. Now I'm gonna come around again, look at this, bicep curl, bicep curl. Now I'm gonna get to the top, look at this, bicep curl, bicep curl. And there's the tray that everybody talks about. So now we're gonna keep coming down in this bicep curl position as we're coming through, and we just release that club. So if you would like to start swinging, in my opinion, using the God-given power angles that we all have, because if you're a male, you're no different than me. If you're a female, your bone structure and muscular setup, because you can give birth, is different than me. But we're all human beings. We all have the same bones, same muscles, whatever. But when you start to understand, how do I get my body to match up to the motion that I'm making with my arms? So you got two choices. You can either go up or you can go around. Now, a lot of people are going to go, oh, well, you need to go up and then go around, which creates this little figure 8 loop. No, you can do that. Is it the most efficient? No. When I'm doing this and I take the book and I go around, a lot of you are going to be like, wow, that's pretty flat. It needs to, be up here. The plane's not right. It's too flat. You need to throw a plane out the window. Just throw it out the window and start understanding it is paths and patterns that are going to make your golf swing work. So when you make this move and you come up like this, your arm structure and everything is going to be right here, okay? Because again, if you want to get into panes of glass and planes and all this crap, if I'm standing like this and I put this on my shoulder representing the plane to the ground, okay? So most people are like, yeah, if I just follow up that plane, that's really cool. Now imagine this, the plane is going here. So if I just in two-dimensional space, go up this plane, I'm going to have a really good golf swing. But what people don't understand is if this plane was here, it would travel through me and go infinitely in two directions. So if it goes infinitely as it's continuing to come up, and I do this standard, because the plane would be here, the second I go up any higher than that, I smash the pane of glass, and I'm not staying under the pane of glass, which was Hogan's idea that helped golf instruction evolve over the past, 40, 50 years, whatever. The plane, if it was on our shoulders, would be infinite. And then you have some instructors go, yeah, it's one plane on the backswing, and then let's shift that plane and make it another on the downswing. Yeah, great, okay, whatever. If that works for you, great. If it doesn't, whatever. But I'm telling you right now, in order, if you could see this plane under me, as I move this book around me, I'm staying under that pane of glass. And because I'm moving the book around me right now, look what's happening to my body. I'm just here, I'm there, and I'm going to come through. Now, there's a couple of different things that I'm doing that are a little different than what you're doing. I can guarantee you that. So what we're going to do is make sure you stay tuned. Take this book and start experimenting with yourself. Do you go up and create this and then try to drop it down? Do you go up and do this, lifting, and try to pull it down? Or do you do this and turn this thing around your body to get in these power angles that you will be able to retain a lot easier? These are just food for thought. Your opinion would be, welcome. But the truth is, you have to choose one. And I'm going to tell you which one you should choose. It's the one that's going to, match up to the power angles that are in your body. All right, guys. Thanks for your time. Until next time, Chris Hudson. We'll see you soon.